Hello Essence Tribe, welcome to your myofascial release technique for today. We're working on the hip joint area today, all around the pelvis. So for today's exercise, you will need 2 tennis balls or whatever balls you have at home, but they need to be loose, not connected. Just remembering with this myofascial technique that you want to get to the spot where it hurts so good, but you don't want pain, okay? So your nervous system is really intelligent, and if you get to the point where it's painful, you've gone too far and you're pressing the gas and the brake at the same time. You also want to stay away from bone in these myofascial activities, so you're really working on the soft tissue. Breathe, a lot of breath, that's the key to these activities. So let's get started. So first, just 1 tennis ball. I'm just gonna show you each activity just for a few seconds, help you cue it up, and then you'll be free to either pause the video or then do it on your own for as long as you need to in each spot, okay? So I recommend when we're holding to hold the ball in the position for about 3 to 4 breaths. If we're moving, 5 or 6 breaths, but ultimately it's whatever feels best for you. So you need to use your intuition and what your body needs to stay as long as you need, to go as deep as you need, but ultimately you really need to breathe. So the first activity, we're working right on the glute. So you're gonna bring the ball to the mat and you're gonna put the glute muscle, like the ball is coming right to the center of the glute muscle. So for instance, if you have the ball under the left glute, you will extend the left leg forward, right leg is bent. You're supporting yourself with your hands. Now you can just stay here and hold. Make sure you're releasing any gripping or tension on that glute muscle. You can make small circles. And just kind of rock the foot side to side. So internally rotate, externally rotate. I know you can't see that probably from there. So it would be like externally rotate the foot, internally rotate the foot as you have your glute on the ball. Okay, so just doing that for 5-6 breath cycles. And we're gonna come into the piriformis. So the ball is going to come right to the outside of the glute muscle. Okay, you're gonna lay on the ball. So whatever side you choose first, you're gonna lay on your side and just sink into the ball. Okay, you might make small circles. Pause in the sore spot. Again, it's a hurt so good feeling, so you're gonna feel a sensation, you'll feel pressure. Really breathe into it. I'm holding here in one spot. I would breathe in and out probably 5 or 6 breath cycles and then see if I could hit maybe another little spot, 5 or 6 breath cycles. So there's this small area you're hitting, but you can kind of move around in micro movements to hit the whole inner hip, okay? The next one is for the IT band. So to do this one, same thing, 1 tennis ball. You're gonna bring it to the outside of the thigh. Now you're gonna roll your body, roll the tennis ball right from the hip all the way to the top of the knee. So it can be a little bit awkward, but do your best. And again, if rolling doesn't feel good for you, just find a spot and hold for 3 or 4 breaths and then move it down for another 3 or 4 breaths. So doing that on both sides, right from where the thigh bone enters the pelvis to the kneecap. So that's working the IT band. Now the hip flexor, right here, the ball is gonna come right to the bottom of the hip. Okay, so this is where when you bend the knee, bend the hip, where the hip flexes, literally, okay? So the hip flexor. So you're gonna lay on the tennis ball. You're gonna bring it to the hip flexor. So depending on how you feel, you can do 1 hip flexor or you can do 2 at the same time with 2 balls. So just gonna find that divot in the hip flexor. Allow your body to sink into it. And make sure you're breathing. You can do small movements side to side. Just making little circles here, but really breathing and allowing the body time to release at your hip flexor. Next one is the psoas. So with the psoas, you want to bring the ball to the inside of the hip. So it's almost like on your abdomen. So when you lay on the ball inside of this bony part, the iliac crest of the hips, the ball is going to be pushing up into your abdomen. So again, you can do this 1 ball or 2 balls. You're going to lay on the ball. It's going to press into your abdomen to the inside of that pointy part of the hip, the iliac crest. And you're just going to breathe. But be conscious of what the rest of your body is doing. So don't let the shoulders creep up to the ears. Stay nice and tall. Breathe. 3, 4, 5, 6 breaths here. Whatever feels best for you. Good. Last exercise is for the SI joint. So the balls will come on the top of the pelvis about 2 to 4 inches apart. You're going to lay back on the balls. So top of the pelvis, lay the body down on the balls and just breathe. You can readjust as needed. You're going to find that spot where they're pressing to find that release. So just let go of any tension or gripping. Be here. Let the balls and the breath do the work. Enjoy. Take care. You don't want pain. You want sensation. And don't forget to breathe. See you tomorrow.